So the first step in doing calculations for Revit drawings is to establish your own library, which corresponds to the different elements that you use in your project. And that is a big piece of work, but if you continue to do this throughout the different semesters, you should have a decent library at the end of the 6th semester, so that when you do the 7th semester, you have a lot of information available in English. Now we have to attach each element to a type code. Normally, you would go into project parameters and you would have a list with the different parameters. If you're using the Danish or international templates from VIA University College, there should be type code listed here. But this drawing was done some years ago, and it's done without a Danish template or a VIA international template. So I'm going to have to add my own type code in here, and I do this by, as I said, clicking under Manage, clicking Project Parameters, and then adding. When I add, I can write in the name section type code, and it's case sensitive, so be careful there. Under group parameters, I choose identity data, click type here, and check all these boxes, and click OK, and OK once again. And you can see type code was on there. The next step is to attach a type code to each element. Now, this wall here is a basic 300mm wooden wall. I want to do it in brickwork for this calculation. I can always change it to wooden in another calculation to compare it with the brick wall. And if I click on this, you can see it's the very same wall. So all the walls that have the same properties will be given the same type code. So what I do is I mark the wall up now. You can see it's marked. I go up into add-ins, and I use this code group add-in, this code group integration tool, and I can pull it out, and I click on element properties, and the element properties I'm looking for here is one called the type parameters, and as you can see, type code is now in there. So if I click over here, I can navigate to my library. This is the first time I'm setting it up, so I'm going to have to set it up to find my library. As it happens, it's already here, but I know I've updated it since, so I'm going to click here and navigate to my desktop, and here I can see my price book, my new price book. This is the one I made previously. The number identifies the type code, and the text gives a description of the actual type. We're trying to give this outer wall a type code now, so I'm going to go into value here and find the outer wall in my primary building components. And this is it, the cavity wall. I click on the cavity wall and click OK, and you can see the type code is now in here. This type code is actually linked to that number in my outer wall, this cavity wall. This is the number it's linked to. So that's an important detail to remember. Back in my Revit drawing, I click OK. You can see the type code and the description. Click OK. And if I now click on this wall over here and go into my properties for the wall, and I do this by right-clicking here and opening element properties, for example, and edit type, and here I can see the type code is exactly the same for that wall. That is because this wall and all the other walls with those properties have the same type code now. The next step would be to give a type code for the windows. For example, this window here, this is a skylight I've just marked. Right click, or rather just mark the window up first and go into into this one here, which was under add-ins, element properties, parameters, and again choose the type code. As you can see, this is already my price book has already been found. Now I just have to find the the particular window I'm looking for. I'm looking for a skylight, and it's going to be this skylight here. Click OK, and you can see the type codes on there. I continue to do this with all my elements. I'm just going to mark this element up here. This is as you can see, this is a basic wall, inner wall. Right click, or rather just mark it up, go into my element properties, type parameters, and again the type code from for the inner wall. In this case it's this one here, lightweight wall. Click OK, and you do this for all the elements in the project or in your drawing. Let me just mark the floor up here, go into my element properties again and find a type code for that too. This is a primary building construction, and it's a, well, I can see I have forgotten to find a price for that particular element, so that will not turn up in my calculation because I don't have an element I can refer a type code to. So this shows the importance of actually remembering to put in all the elements. Just for the sake of argument, I'm going to just give this the same type code as for the slab. This would of course be wrong, but in principle it's the principle of how to do it. So I'm just going to do this for now, and it's now got the same type code as the slab, but in reality you would have to find a new one for it.